Hi everybody, it's Chris Van Hillo with the City of Tampa's Visual Arts team. Today I thought it might be fun if we did a photo weave. Normally when I do these photo weaves, I like to do the face of someone famous maybe, or someone in my family. But I don't have any of these large photographs at home today, so I'm going to mix it up a little, and I'm going to pull out some old calendars. Here's one I have from Missouri Botanical Gardens, 2010. And then I have a couple photographs over here that my brother shot. My brother, who is a landscape or urban photographer in St. Louis, has a booth at Soulard Market every Saturday. Go visit him when this is all over. Anyway, Scott's taken some pretty cool shots. Tower Grove Park. Here's another one. I thought what I might do is marry these two photographs together. So we're going to get set up and I'm going to show you how that's done. Stay tuned. Okay, using my graphics art tape, I've gone ahead and taped my photograph down to my self-healing mat. You don't have to use a self-healing mat. You don't have to use an X-Acto knife or a rotary cutter. You don't have to use a quilting ruler. These are tools that I have at home, so of course I'm going to use them. You could use a ruler and mark the back of your photograph in 1/2-inch increments and then just cut with scissors. But because I have these tools here, these are the tools that I'm comfortable with, and these are the tools that I'm going to use. Okay, so I started at 1 inch. I don't want to go all the way to the edge, and I'm cutting from the tape all the way down through the bottom. I used to leave the tops and the bottoms all whole, and it's just much harder to weave that way, so let's make it easy. Like I said, I'm going to do 1/2-inch increments. So you can either line the ruler up with the 1/2-inch mark on the mat, or you can use the little 1/2-inch mark on the ruler, or if you've drawn on this with your pencil and your ruler, you're just going to cut with your scissors. If you're using this technique, you're going to hold your ruler down really tightly. You're going to lay your X-Acto knife on there, and you're going to press smartly, and you're going to run that straight line all the way down. Before you go to the next cut, you just want to lift it up and make sure it went all the way to the top, and it did. I like to work from left to right because I like to hold these cuts down in place, so because they have a tendency to want to fly up and move around on you. So I like to work from left to right, and that way I'm literally holding all these cuts down as I cut all the rest. So this is going to be the photograph that we actually weave on. Then I'm going to show you how I cut the photograph that we're actually going to weave through. So I'm going to hit pause. You don't need to see me cut for the next 10 minutes, and I will be back. I'm trying something kind of interesting that I've never done before, and if I don't like how it looks, I can always take it out. But I'm going to go ahead and leave this Tower Grove Avenue sign hole like that. So I'm lining up my ruler again every 1/2-inch. So I'm going to line up my ruler here, and I'm going to take my X-Acto knife, and I'm pressing against the side of the ruler as I come down to make sure I keep nice straight lines. And I'm going to stop at the top of that line, and then I'm going to start up again at the bottom of that line. So let's see if you guys can see this here. Stop, pick it up, continue. Now it's going to be a little harder to weave in here because these aren't going to pick up. These are going to be solid down there, and that's going to be a little bit tougher. But I think I'm going to like that. And if I don't like it, we can always just go ahead and slice those through. So I'm almost finished. Be patient. I've completed cutting all my warps on here. And now I need to cut my wefts. And just to give you an explanation of what's a warp, what's a weft. The warps are traditionally what run top to bottom on your loom. This is a little foam tray loom. I like to use the foam trays when I weave. So this is a little foam tray loom that I came up with. And the warps are what run from top to bottom. The wefts are what cross from side to side over and under the warps. So for purposes of this today, I want you to know that these are the warps, these are going to be the wefts. So I'm getting ready to cut these wefts, and I'm going to cut them in the same increments 1/2 inch increments. One little tip I want to make sure that I share is as you're cutting your wefts, I like to, on those, cut from right to left so I can make sure that I've cut all the way through before I move my ruler. And then the next thing I do immediately is turn that strip over and number it, because you're going to get them out of order and it's going to be like trying to figure out a jigsaw puzzle. If you don't care if they're out of order, then it really doesn't matter. But I go ahead and number them so that if I want them in order, if it's a person's face or if it's some part of geography that it's very important that it not get mixed up, I number them, because it can be very, very frustrating if you don't. Here we go. What we need to do, these will be easy because these will come up because they're not bound by this sign down here. So on our first 5, we can just lift these up. I'm going to call this my shuttle, and I'm going to run my shuttle in there. Now we're going under, over, whoops, that one got to be a whole inch. That's interesting. I kind of like that, so I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to correct my mistake there. So we're just going over, under, over, under, over, under. Harris is on the way home with a larger ruler because this ruler is just not quite big enough. And then we're going to twist that ruler, and you can see all those standing up. And then here is number 1. I'm going to have the number on the right hand side. So we're just going to take this and we're just going to stand it up and slide it through and lay it down. We're going to take our shuttle and we're going to lay it down, and then we're just going to push that first strip all the way to the top. Okay, bring it all the way through and get as close to the top as we can. I have to push a little bit. I'm trying to, maybe those cuts weren't all jam up like they needed to be, but that's good enough for government work. Okay, now I'm going to take my shuttle out, and now I'm going to do the opposite. So before, oops, looks like that one hasn't come up all the way. There we go. So now what was over will be under. So like I said, these first couple will be easy because I can pick these up at the bottom with my hands. But as I get into that Tower Grove Park sign, okay, so under, over, that can go to there. Okay, now I have to get up in here. So I am over, now I have to be under, over, under. I should have checked all of these to make sure I cut through well. Here's my pottery tool, my picker. I'm going to use my picker tool here. It's only difficult on the first try. Okay, there we go. So over, under, over. Okay, come on, sweetheart. It's only difficult on the first time. Okay. Over, under, over, under. Sometimes it helps if you can get underneath it. That's why I love using those foam trays, because I can stick my hands underneath. Under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over. Come on, sweetheart. I'm missing that one. Under, over, under, over. Okay. Then I'm going to get there. And my ruler is a little bit too short, but I think, actually, let me run that all the way up and make sure my cuts are, I don't think my cuts went through all the way, but I think I can do that with my photo. Okay, so we're going to go to number 2. We know that we want the number on the right hand side. So I'm just going to take this and insert it. And sometimes it helps, I think it helps if you turn it at an angle like that. And then we're going to lay that down. We're going to lay the ruler down. And then we are going to shift that up. And you can see where it's catching on a couple of these where my razor blade did not cut through as well as it should have. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. So I might just kind of pick those up with my fingers and force that to happen. Okay. Come on, sweetheart. There we go. This little guy is good. Okay, now these are going to be a little trickier. That one went up. That one's up. That one's up. That one's up. That one's up. And something's scratching my nose. I love it. Okay, so here is our second. Love that blue sky in there. Wish I had more blue sky. Okay, so here's our second, and I'm just pushing it up. Why does my nose itch? There, that one's catching right there. Okay. Pushing, 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 pushing. Okay, there's the second one. So I'm going to take my shuttle out. Okay, now what was over will now be under. So here we go. Pick up every other one. Okay, now I'm going to get my pottery tool and see if I can get my hand underneath here. I think that would work better. Okay, so over, under. Come on. Over. Come on. Under. Over. Under. Over. Under. There it is. Over, under, over, under. You kind of get a rhythm going once you get started. It takes a couple of minutes. It's been a while since I've done this, so I apologize. Yeah, okay. Should have practiced off camera. Didn't. Never do. Okay. Stop being a butthead. Okay, so let's run this up, and we're going to tilt our ruler so that it opens up. Okay. Okay, there we go. And we're on number 3. And we know we want our number down on the right, so I'm just going to insert this like so. Here's number 3. I'm going to lay my ruler down, and then using my shuttle, I'm going to just shove those pieces into place, and you can rock and roll it here. Okay. All right, so I'm going to turn the camera off for a couple of minutes, and I'm going to keep weaving. I'm at about the midway point, and as I get closer to the Tower Grove sign, it's going to be more difficult for me to get my shuttle in and out. So what I'm going to try to do is actually use my cardstock as my shuttle. So let's see how that goes. So I'm working from right to left, and the last one I did was over. So now that needs to go in under. So here we go. Under, over, under. Okay, over, under, over, under. It's going to get more difficult as I get over to closer to the center because I can't get my hand in there. Under, push, under, over, under, over. So it's not difficult by any stretch of the imagination. It's just kind of tedious. You know, it's kind of one of those things that you really want to, you have to want it. If you don't want it, you won't do it, right? These will be easy because these I can just pick up. So let me make sure, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, just pick them up, Chris, under, over, under, okay, and then I'm just going to shift them up. And as you shift, you know, they kind of buck, they don't want to go up, so you just kind of have to invite them slowly to go. I like to try to hold down with my fingers. Scott, thank you for not shooting a really glossy photograph because it would end up with my fingerprints all over it. This needs to come down just a hair. I'm sure you thought of that when you were doing this, like, you know, 20 years ago, probably how old this picture is. at least 20 years ago. I don't know if there's a date on it. We'll turn it over later. Okay, so there you go. I'm on number 10. I'm just going to use the actual photograph as my shuttle. So I was under. Now I need to be over. Good Lord. Under. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera off as I continue on my journey here. This is a little bit like watching paint dry, isn't it? So just keep going, under, over, be patient, keep pushing it through. I was wondering if putting a paper clip on the end would be at all helpful. See, this is why I knew keeping that sign all one piece was going to fight me a little bit, but I still think that's going to be really cool to keep the integrity of the Tower Grove sign, Tower Grove Park sign. For those of you from St. Louis, I'm sure you know this sign very, very well. For my family, we know it well because my brother has a memorial bench. My brother Terry Lee has a memorial bench in Tower Grove Park. So anytime we're in St. Louis, we go see him. Okay, so I'm going to turn the camera off and I'm going to keep going. And I'll be back in a few minutes. Very excited at how this is turning off. This is just an explosion of color. I love it. As I approach this last row that's at the very top of my Tower Grove sign, it's going to be really tight and it's going to be very, very difficult to get the warps through there. So I've gone ahead and got my pottery tool out. You could use a toothpick. I'm going to push each one of the warps that I'm trying to get under or over. I'm going to kind of push it out of the way. Then I'm going to come and I'm going to try to put my pick underneath, and I'm kind of opening up that little hole there. Then I'm going to put my pick underneath, okay, to take it over. Now I'm going to come up from underneath and I'm going to, I'm going to bring my pick here and I'm just going to lift up and push that through. Push, push, push. Okay, then I'm going to come to here and I'm going to lift that up and I'm going to get underneath there. And you see I'm just trying to open the hole up a little bit more. And I'm going to push. Let's see if I can, oh, good, there it is. Okay, now I'm going to go to the next one. I'm going to take my needle tool. Oops, I think I pushed it a little too far. Okay, there we go. Okay, now I'm just going to open that hole up. I'm going to push. It really helps that I'm using a heavy, you know, photographic paper, which is similar to cardstock, probably 100-pound gloss. Then I pull that through, so push. There we go. Get to the next one. Push. Okay. Then I'm going to come to this one. Open it up. Get underneath it. Push. Okay. I'm going to go to the next one. Open it up. Push. Okay. Then I'm going to go to here. Whoops. Wait a minute. Is that right? What have I done? What have I done? What have I done? Yeah, I think that's right. Okay, I got a problem here. I think I went past it. Yeah, I went past it a little bit. Okay, so I need to open this up. And it doesn't want to go through, of course. So let's see if I can get under there. Come on, sweetheart. Ugh. There you go. Okay. Just two more. Just two more. Oh, I see a problem here. No, I don't. I don't see a problem. I'm making up a problem. Okay. That needs to go over, so I'm going to have to pull this out a little. Got to get up underneath here like this. And that's the last one. Pushing through. Come on. It's the last one. There it is. Okay. There it is. Now I'm just going to keep pushing these up. I'm going to keep pushing my wefts up my warps. And every time I add another weft, it's kind of easier to push those a little tighter. It's really not going to go much farther. I'm going to keep that right on top of that Tower Grove sign. I've taken 2 rows in here to the sign, and I think the 3rd row is actually ready to go under, over, all the way across. I don't think I'm going to be able to break that up anymore. So I could be using my I probably should be using my shuttle. So I'm going to be under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over. You get the drift. I did one a couple minutes ago, and I did it the same as the one above it, and I was like, oh man, it was a really tight one too. I couldn't believe I had to tear it out. Just glad I had the camera off. I might have said a few things there. Actually, I don't really like how that's looking. I don't even think I'm gonna be able to get that thing through there. It's gonna be so tight. If I can just run it down there we go. And then the last couple I can do with my fingers. Stay up there. Get up there. Stay up there. Ugh. Okay, stay up there. Alright, so this one has to go over. Come on. Under, over, under, over, under. Okay, and then I think we probably, oh, I'm just starting to see the top of the gazebo here. I kind of wish I had started with the gazebo so we could see the building, but I really, really love the blue skies. So boy, I tell you, actually I'll probably have enough to do another one. So, oh, I don't know if I have any more backgrounds though, so I might have to marry Tile Grove Park with Forest Park. Ha ha ha, that might be fun. That could be kind of fun. Okay, I think we can get one more in. I think I'm on 16. And I honestly think the easiest way to do this is just going to be to, I'm almost thinking I should take the, oops, that was a no-no, don't do that. Don't take the tape off, okay. I thought maybe if I could get this down to the edge, it would make it easier, and I think it would, but this is always the hardest part, is the end, right? Okay, so let's see. Okay, where's that needle tool when you need it? Pick that up, get in there. Okay, actually, maybe I should be doing it the way I've been doing it all along, huh? Okay, so I'm over, under, over, under. Now, so imagine I used to do these with the bottoms closed, and oh my goodness, I realized life's too short. Okay, come on. So just try to keep it from flopping out at the bottom there, and you'll be all right. Come on, sweetheart, get up there. I might have to edit this out. It's taken longer than I thought. All right. Whoops, that needs to, whoops, wait a minute, what have I done? Yeah, that's right, you were right, you were right. Okay, don't second guess yourself. Get up there, it's trying to fall out. Come on, okay. Okay, stay up there, stay up there. Okay, now we want it over, so get my pick out. There we go. See how it wants to migrate down? Everybody wants to come down south. Alright. Oh, there we go. Alright. I've only got a couple more to go. Come on, come on. Push, 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 push. Push it through without pushing it out the bottom. Come on, stay up there, stay up there, stay up there. Alright. Push, pull that, push and pull. How's that? Push and pull here. Get under there. Goodness sakes. Okay, here we go. Are you there? Thought you were. There you are. Peekaboo! Alright, there we go. That's it. I am not going to try to add another one. Alright, now I think this is beautiful. I've never done a landscape before. I've always done a portrait of someone. Marilyn Monroe, Joe Strummer, Jerry Garcia, John Lennon. I've done Darth Vader. I've done the Joker and Batman superimposed on top. I absolutely love this. I think it's beautiful. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to tape down the sides to hold it in place. so that when I remove it, it doesn't come flying. Oh wow, look at that piece of tape. Did that almost perfectly. Alright, and I'm going to push this side in to make it tighter. And put the tape on there. Stay. Stay. Alright. Add that tape there. Oops. Push it down. Then I'm going to pick this up. And I'm going to turn this over. And I'm going to fold that down just to hold it in place. I'm going to add some tape here again, just trying to hold everything in place. This is trying to jump down on me, so I'm going to push those up, add a little bit more tape, and I will be back in a minute to show you the final. Here's our finished project. I absolutely love it. I hope you go back to the beginning of the video so that you can see the before picture. I just love this. This is going in a frame. So this is the first time I've ever done a landscape, and I'm sold. I can't wait to do this again. So if you don't have a photograph, grab a magazine. You can use fabric. It doesn't have to be paper. You can use wool. You can use yarn. You can use any materials you like. Make it a mixed media piece. Hope you have fun with this. Hope you learned something. See you soon. Thanks for watching. Stay inspired. Stay inside. Stay safe. Chris Van Hillo, out.